My favorite thing about the character that I portray is her transformation throughout the production. The biggest challenge about this particular role, I think, was the timing in my personal life. There are a few parallels between the character that I portray and kind of where I am in my journey. And so that could be difficult at times, but the challenge was to remember when I was her and not when I was me. After watching this show, I really hope people leave with the message of do it today, take the opportunities that are in front of you right now, because you don't know if you'll have time.
I would think that my character in this play is an agitator. I think she likes to run things and stir people up. To just apply. Like I did, I just applied. I wanted to continue my, I always liked acting and performing, singing, even dancing. I'm a little too old for that now, but just apply. My favorite part about being a part of this production is the cast, the people I'm working with. They are wonderful, they're great. Daniel is wonderful. So just apply.
The character, which is Diamond, has a really good story of redemption. I think that she's been through a lot, but she's willing to grow. She's becoming more vulnerable. So I think someone who's like in a place in their life where they've been through a lot of things, but they're like not as trustworthy with people would relate to Diamond in that aspect. She's super raw, but she's willing to be vulnerable if in a safe space. I love Diamond because she's spicy. Diamond is super spicy. I love the relationship that she has with one of the other characters in the play, but what I like most about Diamond is she's herself. She really doesn't allow people or instances to get her to like shut down for the most part. I like the fact that she just still shows up. You know, sometimes like you don't want to, but Diamond still chooses to show up. So I think I really enjoy that aspect of Diamond. So Daniel's awesome. He's super understanding and flexible. He's one of the most flexible and understanding directors I've worked with. His material is the bomb. It's very relatable and personal. And he, as a director and the logistics of it, he communicates, you know, the rehearsals very well and the expectations, but he's also very encouraging. And he doesn't mind if you not challenge, but question the motives and the decisions behind what the characters do, which is really helpful as an artist because sometimes we have like a presumption of what the character should do, but when the director allows you to explore that as well, it really helps like sharpen like your tactics. So, I mean, he's super fun, super understanding, and a bomb creative.
Being a part of Daniel Barksdale's Sunday Morning has been amazing. It has touched on areas of my life that I've experienced personally and things that I've heard people say throughout the course of the play related to relationships in church hurt, and just personal relationships. So it has been a good experience. Daniel is an amazing director and writer, and I've enjoyed meeting new castmates and making family, not just friends. My favorite thing about this character is that I actually worked this role in real life, so it allowed me to bring the character to life from a standpoint that I've experienced personally, and I've enjoyed being able to add my own touches to my character, and just the feedback that has came from Daniel and other castmates about how to bring her to life. I think what I'm looking forward to the most when this show opens to the public is the overwhelming responses from the audience as they try to keep up with the plot twist. I look forward to hearing what each person says at the end of the play they thought was going to happen, and just overall feedback, how they felt and whether or not it made an impact on their lives.
I would describe my character as one who's just witty. You don't ever know what Walter is going to do or what he's going to say. Everything is just out the ordinary for this character, but that's how I like it. You know, it's nothing normal about Walter. he tries to be normal, but it comes across as being witty, as stupid, as funny. I mean, that's one way I can describe Walter. You just never know what'll come out of his mouth, and don't be surprised on show day what happens. My first initial thoughts when I read the script was, this is nothing new from what I've been doing. I mean, it's been it's the type of plays that Daniel does is just very intriguing. It makes you think all the way through. I mean, you could be thinking one way, and then all of a sudden it takes a turn to the left or the right. All of a sudden you're like, wow. So doing this play, I knew it was going to be something close to that, where you just don't know the ending. And I think that's what makes Daniel's plays unique. You just don't know the ending, and you have to stay to see the whole thing, so you'll get the whole thing. Working with Daniel Barksdale is just a God-given. He's an amazing director. He's with you the whole way through. You know, you start with him, and by the time you finish, you want to do more plays with him. He's just that kind of a person. It's infectious almost. You know, you can't stop with just one. You have to continue, and the cast and everyone. It's just amazing. It's just like family to me now. I mean, he brings you in. He'll, if anything's wrong, he'll talk with you, and you just leave each and every rehearsal refreshed. So that's what I like to say. Just working with him is just God-given.
How would I describe my character in this play's production? I would describe her as a loving mother, a good Christian woman, but underneath there's some concern, something going on deeper than what we see on the outside. What do I think they'll be thinking about as they're driving home after the show? I think they're going to say, I know that person right there. I know who that was. What is it like working with Daniel Barksdale? It's a joy to work with Daniel Barksdale and his crew, I'll say. Very spiritual, very God-led. Everybody enjoys being with each other. There's no strife. There's virtually no stress among us, I don't think. Daniel is always open to suggestions that we make, and he's a good listener.
How can someone identify with my character that I play in this show? I think anyone who is in ministry, anyone who leads in ministry will be able to see, and from afar off or from an objective view, the ins and outs of ministry. It's not always what people see on the outside. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes because you're dealing with real people, with real issues, good, bad, and ugly. And we don't always get to see that on a Sunday. We don't always get to see that in Bible study. We don't get to see some of the behind the scenes when the other sides of people's personality come out. So I think they'll be able to identify with, there's more to this role, to this job than meets the eye. So I think a lot can be gleaned from this production and my character in particular. What was the biggest challenge for me taking on this role? Two things come to mind right up front. The larger of the two is probably, for me individually, I feel it's important for me to maintain my spiritual and professional integrity in doing anything that I do. So any endeavor that I engage in outside of the church, outside of ministry, I have to make sure that it still brings glory to God, and I have to be prayerful about what I engage in and to what extent and what level, because I don't want to tarnish ministry in any way by shedding a bad light where God does not get glory, or that people are misled by my role or what I'm doing. If it becomes a stumbling block, then it might be something that I would have to reconsider. So that was one big challenge. The other big challenge is time, because it's time away from my study time away from church, especially when we get ready to tour, because now it's physical time that I have to juggle around my obligations, and I don't want to ever jeopardize that or shortchange that. So I think those were my two immediate challenges with this production. What's the message that I hope people walk away with after viewing this show? My prayer is that people will be able to see a message for them, not necessarily a global message, because I think through the versatility and the diversity of the characters, people have the opportunity to see themselves or someone they know. If it's them, they may see themselves where it supports them in a positive way. They may see themselves that says, hey, that's similar to what I do, but I don't like that, and I didn't realize that I was doing that or acting that way, or it affected other people around me. So they see it now as an opportunity to be able to see something that they need to work on or change. And so I think that there's an opportunity for everybody to see something. And I just pray that they come with an open mind and open heart, because oftentimes the message, the gospel message, can be portrayed in a secular setting. People don't always have to come to church to see a message, to see something that's can be fulfilling for them, helpful for them, or something that they need. A lot of times, because I think theater has the opportunity to do it in a way that's not intrusive. It doesn't put a person on blast, but they're able to look in a mirror, so to speak, and then just kind of walk away privately saying, wow, that really touched me, that really hit me, and I've got some work to do. Or they can applaud themselves like, I'm on the right track, or they can use it to support someone else that they may know. So hopefully they walk away with a message that God is still in control and there's still time. We're all in our process. We're all in the work of process. So.
My favorite thing about the character I portrayed in this production is that I am a church secretary. And I'm not a perfect church secretary, but I go to the liquor store and I, try to save souls. And that's my mission when I go to the liquor store. So that's my question, my answer. Oh, I'm looking forward to meeting different people and bringing the message to them, those that are on tour when I go. And I know I'm gonna have a good time with the play, and they're going to enjoy it also. The rehearsal process was great because we practiced what we needed to practice, and sometime I got to practice, but that was okay. But I enjoyed the rehearsal, and I just thank God for being able to be on, doing the rehearsal. And then by me getting off my script at the first rehearsal was good.
My first thoughts was, wow, this is a good drama. This is a good plot. I was surprised at how many plot twists that was in there and how funny it was, because I like funny, but also like things that have depth to it. And this play definitely has a lot of depth to it. Definitely makes you think and wonder about things you never thought of, and it addresses a lot of issues that need to be addressed. So seeing that just made me excited to jump on in, and it was edgy, and I like edgy. They probably gonna say Daniel Crazy on the what for real. That's what they probably gonna say for real. Honestly, they probably gonna, really be kind of blown away by what they seen and by the message that they got with it. Because this whole play, involves a lot of emotion, laughter, humor, conscious thinking. So I think they're gonna be blown away when they're going home, and they're probably gonna want to see it again. Honestly. Honestly, seeing the reception of the people from my character out there, that's gonna be pretty exciting to see, because I think, as far as me doing my character right, if people hate me more, then I'm doing good, so that's kind of fun. I've kind of gotten a little reception around here, love, hate, love, but they love to hate me. So honestly, just seeing new scenery too, seeing different people, different experiences. I love getting out, so I love it at all.
So when I first read the script, I was wondering, where's my role again? Who am I supposed to play? Oh, Officer Cheryl. Okay. But getting to that point, to that scene where Officer Cheryl was there, just reading the different characters and all the funny anecdotes and all of the inspirational parts of it as well, it was like, okay, this is a very well-rounded play. I think I can do this. I think I'll like this. So I love Officer Cheryl. I think she is a very well-rounded character. She brings her own flair to it. Even though she's a cop, she has to be an inspiration as well at the same time as she's trying to lay down the law. So I like that well-roundedness, the fact that she has compassion, that she still has love for the other characters, but then also has to lay down the law as needed, just as I guess an officer does. So advice I would give someone who would be interested in working with Daniel Barksdale Productions is, number one, go for it. Don't be afraid, but also don't be afraid to be yourself, to bring yourself and put yourself into these characters as well, because you grow this character. Daniel writes the character and then you grow it, you become it. So don't be afraid to be yourself and to be a part of this. And Daniel's a pretty cool producer, pretty cool director as well, so you will enjoy it as much as I have.